Hi everyone, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. If you are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back, and I hope you enjoy this video. Today I thought that there's been a few different things that have come up on my Facebook feed and in something else that I am connected with, the Sunrise Online program stuff. It was talking a lot about dentists, and some people are having dentist wins with their autism kids, and some people are like, you know, try this dentist, this is really awesome. And so I thought I would share the adventures that we have had with Darrion and dentists. I talked earlier on about just different things that we have struggled with in the past. And so I thought the next couple of videos would be kind of fun to look back and just see how far Darrion has come in just the way he responds to different things and stuff like that. So, dentists. Lots and lots of fun. If you are one of those lucky people who don't have any issues with their kids and dentists, God bless you. We are all very jealous. But yeah, no, so we realized, I want to say when he was about 5 or 6, I noticed that he had a spot on one of his bottom teeth, and I was like, okay, shoot, we're going to have to try and do this dentist thing. I'm not one of those people who believes that and part of it was affordability. But, you know, the dentists, like when the kids are babies and stuff like that, I'm like, you know what? No. Especially when, they charge $100 to walk through the door. So especially where we live, there apparently the dentists are disproportionately more expensive or compared to other provinces and in other parts of the world easily. Alberta is pretty expensive, and the government is looking into changing that. So we just couldn't afford to do it. And so it was only when he really obviously had a cavity, and part of it was Darrion had the sensory issues of not liking any toothpaste. So the only thing he would let me brush his teeth with was coconut oil, which wasn't necessarily a bad choice, but it didn't have fluoride. And I know there's always the discussion about whether we're poisoning our children using fluoride or whatever. But he wouldn't let me even attempt it. He didn't like the taste, he didn't like the flavor, but he would let me brush his teeth with coconut oil, and so that was the best that I could do. So when I saw the spot, I'm like, oh, shoot the dog. Like, why? And so, yeah, we bit the bullet and tried really hard to find a dentist that would deal or be open to looking at a child with autism. And so we found one in a city not far from here, that way. And it was really interesting because I was like, well, we'll see what happens. And Darrion was absolutely like, he would sit on the chair. That wasn't an issue, but yeah, good luck getting him to actually open his mouth. And so it was decided with this dentist, who was particularly awesome, I would like to state for the record. This gentleman comes in, his waiting room actually has a train going around the waiting room. That's why it costs $100 to walk in the door. But he had a train that just went around the office into some of the other rooms and then around in the waiting room. So it was really quite cool and quite awesome. And then you went into the office, and there's this older gentleman, like he was on the verge of retiring when we saw him for the last couple of years. And then the last I had heard, he was down to like half days and whatever. So quite like not elderly, but definitely on the older edge of his career. And he had this handlebar mustache, like no word of a lie, and like wore a kerchief. Like he looked like the train conductor, except he's the dentist. So he was really awesome. He was really good with kids, and he didn't seem to be off-put where the dentist here in town was like, we're a family practice, but oh my goodness, children. Oh, we have to send them to a specialist. And I'm like, why? They're children and you're a family dentist. Like, yeah, anyway. So we went to him, and he, tried a couple times to get Darrion to open his mouth, and it was like, yeah, no. And so it was decided that we needed to put him under in order to do any sort of look-see cleaning, any of that, and then whatever his teeth needed as far as cleaning out a cavity and filling it and all of that kind of stuff, we needed to put him under. So that got us onto the fun world of trying to get it paid for, because obviously that is the most expensive way to go to clean your child's teeth or to do anything. And so, yeah, we've actually had him do this twice. And we don't do it very often for very obvious reasons. But the biggest one was we needed to get it paid for because it's super, super expensive. And my husband at the time didn't have any coverage whatsoever. And so we went through a government agency called FSCD in Alberta. And God bless them, but they're the most frustrating group to work with. If there's any other ones and you happen to be in Alberta, let me know, because we actually stopped using them after my husband got his new job and had benefits, because I was so stressed out just trying to fill out the paperwork, get them to agree to it. And part of it was it wasn't even me, that the dentist had to make the case that Darrion's tooth decay had to do with his autism. Duh. Like, it's just like, this is not rocket science. They can't open this child's mouth to look. This is an autistic thing. Anyway. So but it would take months and months and months. You'd fill out the paperwork, the dentist would fill out the paperwork, and then you would get months and months and months, and you'd wait and you wait and you wait, and I would be praying, Lord, let this, keep his mouth, like this coconut oil, let it hold for long enough to not start paining him, which it did, because he used to eat frozen blueberries. No more, never. And that was like one of the 2 fruits that child ever eats. So yeah, we started dropping things off of the list because of his sensitive teeth. In any case, so by the time it was said and done, the second time we did it, FSCD said, no, it's not because of his autism that he has tooth issues. And we're like, excuse me? And then the dentist had to send in another sheet of paper. There's no head office to call them. It's you send in the paperwork, they adjudicate it somewhere in some office somewhere, nobody knows where, and then they send you the yay or nay on it, and you have to appeal any decision or whatever, which takes even longer. It was a pain in the butt to the epic degree. And then I found out from the dentist, they don't even pay the bill. They pay part of the bill, which I'm like, that's the whole point and purpose of what you told us was available. And they just said, well, essentially they tell the dentist, well, we're only going to pay this much for this thing and this much for this thing, and the dentist has to take it. And so yeah, we dropped it. I apologized profusely to the dentist, and I said it was not our understanding that they were going to only pay a percentage of the bill. The understanding was they were going to pay the whole bill. It is ridiculous. So anyway, dropped FSCD because I do not have time or energy to add more emotional stress and garbage to what is already stressful situation. I'm like, yeah, no, can't handle it, gone. So yeah, but the funny part of the story, not the haha funny part, but later, several years down the road, you can laugh at. The first time Darrion got put under, he didn't know what was really going on. Daddy was there in the room because I can't, he's 11. But even at, I want to say he was 7 when we got him first done, and then probably 10, something like that. He's very wiggly and whatever, and so trying to, put him to sleep for any sort of reason, he has this little quick thing in his head, and I don't know if it's all autistic kids or just mine, but the second he has the slightest bit of consciousness, he is fighting. So the first time he didn't really know what was going on, and so it wasn't as bad. We'll say he was a little bit more relaxed and didn't understand all of the ins and outs, other than we're getting your teeth fixed and it's going to be great, and then mommy and daddy are going to be there and it's going to be awesome. The second time, he's a little bit older and he remembers everything. If you watch my Halloween video, which I'll link down below in the description box, he remembers everything. So he was good to go to the hospital, and he was good to sit in the waiting room and stuff like that. I am a nervous mama bear because, oh my goodness, like I hate when somebody takes my baby, wheels them off, and I'm not there to take care of them or be beside them or just any of that sort of thing. They're not mine to take care of anymore, and I don't like that. I hate that. I hate it. So in this case, it was the same sort of deal, except once he started getting wheeled down into the room, he started fighting. And not like he just was like, no, all done. And daddy was like, it's okay, buddy, we're just going to get your teeth fixed. And I wasn't there, but Colin was. And so they're trying to get the medicine in him to calm him down and deal with all of the things they have to deal with. And he fought them tooth and nail. My husband comes out and he's like, oh, that was so much work. And how nice people really, they're trying to make it less stressful and whatever, and they're like, it's okay, buddy, and I'm like, just do it, because at this point you're making it 10 times worse. You're making it last longer and whatever. So Colin comes back and he's like, okay, we've it shouldn't take very long. We're waiting in his room, all of that sort of thing, and about 40 minutes, the dentist comes and he tells us that he did really good. We did this, that, and the other thing, and it's awesome. And then off he goes. So we're like, okay, he should be here soon. Well, about 5 minutes after the dentist left, one of the nurses comes walking in at walking top speed, and she looks at my husband and she goes, I need you. And off she goes, and Colin's trailing behind her. And I'm starting to go, okay, what is going on? Like, there's no, whatever. And it's taking by 20-30 minute mark, I'm starting to get a little panicked. I'm like, what is going on? Like, oh my gosh. And then I had to calm myself down by going, logically, Jamie, if something is going massively wrong, heart palpitations or bleeding out or anything, they're not going to call your husband to deal with the problem. Just breathe, relax. But Colin, the nurse goes, about a half hour, my husband goes, go tell my wife everything's okay. And she goes, yeah, everything is okay. He just woke up pretty poorly. So then they come, and Darrion or Colin is in this really wide wheelchair. There we go. Wheelchair. It's really wide wheelchair. And then Darrion is laying on him, and there's a little bit of blood on his clothes and stuff like that, or on Colin's little bed sheet thing that he had to go into the operating room. So what happened, what happened was Darrion, as soon as he had the slightest bit of consciousness, the fight that happened previous to going to sleep and getting his teeth fixed was in full swing. And so when Colin got called, he goes, essentially what happened was they're like, okay, because he was like, oh, he's in the waiting or in the recovery room and he's not doing so hot. No. They hadn't even made it that far yet. So Colin, they're like, okay, you need to put this on to go into the OR room, which is where Darrion was. And all he can hear as he's putting this, I said no! I said no! And Colin walks in and Darrion is standing on the gurney and there's 4 nurses kind of going like this, trying to, like, not touching him because if he gets touched, he freaks right out. So they're just trying to make sure that he doesn't fall off of this really slender bed. He's standing up and he pulled off the tape off of his eyes, which left like really nice bruises. And then he's sitting there and he's like flailing about. I said no. And he pulls out the board and the IV in his arm, pulls it out because it had hit him in the forehead or something, throws it across the room. I said no. So Colin is in there and he's like, hokey peach, like, okay, how do I? So he replaces one of the nurses and actually tries to get his hands on Darrion to calm him down and tell him, Daddy's here, it's okay, Daddy's here. It's like, no. Like, it took so long for him to calm down. So anyway, that's been essentially the highlight of our dentisting? Yeah. I don't know if I don't think that's a word, but we're going to go with it. That was the highlight of us going to the dentist. His teeth have been taken care of. We found a special toothbrush that has been helping and a toothpaste that has fluoride in it, which he will accept. So far, so good. I'm like crossing my fingers because I don't know what to do next. The dentist that we used to have is no longer there. And yeah, I'm hoping that by the time we do that, he's going to be old enough to be able to understand, okay, I'm not doing anything bad. I'm just opening my mouth so that the dentist can see my teeth. And hopefully, if you guys have any tips for a mom who is in my situation where going to the dentist is fraught with danger, things flying and, you know, children half comatose. Literally, after he was wheeled into that room with my husband, after 30 minutes of Colin trying to calm him down, it took him another 30-40 minutes for him to even slightly be more awake. Like, I am amazed at this child. I am amazed. So if you have any tips, tricks, anything like that, I would love to hear about it. If there's a certain type of dentist I should be looking for, please write a comment down below. If you liked this video and the funny story, please like, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do. We would love to have you here. And yeah, I hope this made you laugh and giggle a little bit. He's fine. He is in no danger. We just don't like going to the dentist. Have a wonderful day, everyone.